The Nick Kyrgios paradox. Tennis genius, professional villain, or just misunderstood. Tennis is a sport designed for robots. It requires repetitive motion, absolute silence, emotional suppression, and the ability to wear blindingly white clothes without spilling Gatorade on yourself. It is a sport of decorum. You are supposed to apologize when you get lucky. You are supposed to bow to the royal box. You are supposed to be boring. And then there is Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios treats a tennis court the way a rock star treats a hotel room. He's there to trash the place, make some noise, maybe create a masterpiece, or maybe just sleep on the floor. Watching a Kyrgios match is not a sporting event. It is a psychological thriller. One minute, he's hitting a shot so beautiful it belongs in the Louvre. The next, he's screaming at his own box because he can't find his favorite towel. He is the most polarizing figure in modern tennis. To the purists, he is a disgrace, a waste of God-given talent who mocks the sanctity of the game. To the younger generation and Netflix producers, he is the savior of a dying, stuffy sport. But is he actually wasting his talent? Or does he just understand something about life that the rest of us are too obsessed with winning to see? Let's crack open the skull of the King of Chaos. The Ferrari in the swamp. To understand the global frustration surrounding Kyrgios, you first have to respect the hardware. If you were to build the perfect tennis player in a laboratory, you would give them Nick Kyrgios' arm. His serve is not just effective, it is a kinetic miracle. He generates effortless power with a motion so compact it looks like he's swatting a fly. He has soft hands, a tennis term meaning he can touch the ball with the delicacy of a surgeon. He can blast a forehand at 100 miles per hour, and then feather a drop shot that dies in the grass before the opponent has even finished their split step. He's one of the very few human beings on Earth who has beaten Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic the first time he ever played them. The talent isn't just there, it is overflowing. And that is exactly why people hate him. If Nick Kyrgios was a mediocre player who smashed rackets, he would just be an annoying loser. But because he is a genius who smashes rackets, he is viewed as a tragedy. We look at him and see a Ferrari engine being used to power a lawnmower. We see Grand Slam titles that aren't being won, and we take it personally. We project our own desires for greatness onto him, and when he shrugs them off, we feel insulted. The psychology of tanking. The most common criticism of Kyrgios is that he doesn't try. He tanks. He gives up when things get hard. He throws sets away, attempts tweeners on breakpoints, and seemingly checks out mentally. From a psychological perspective, this isn't laziness. It is a classic textbook defense mechanism known as self-handicapping. Imagine you are terrified of failure. If you try your absolute hardest, you train, you diet, you sleep right, you focus, and you still lose, that proves you weren't good enough. That hurts. That destroys the ego. That confirms your deepest insecurities. But if you don't try, if you stay up until 4 a.m. playing Call of Duty before a match, if you hit trick shots when you're losing, if you start arguing with the umpire about the color of the Gatorade bottles, well, then if you lose, it doesn't count. You can say to yourself, I didn't lose because he's better than me. I lost because I didn't care. It is an emotional eject button. By refusing to commit 100%, Kyrgios protects himself from the pain of true defeat. It is a brilliant, twisted way to keep your ego intact, but it is a disastrous way to build a sporting legacy. The part-time professional. The most fascinating aspect of the Kyrgios anomaly is his refusal to play the game by the rules of the grind set. In an era defined by the ascetic discipline of Novak Djokovic, a man who probably hasn't eaten a slice of bread since 2011 and meditates in hyperbaric chambers, Kyrgios is a throwback to the 1970s. He's the guy who rolls out of bed, grabs a racket, and beats a top 10 player. For years, he refused to hire a coach. He openly admits he doesn't love tennis. He treats it like a high-paying job he's constantly trying to leave early. He plays basketball. He streams on Twitch. He eats whatever he wants. This creates a cognitive dissonance for the audience. We are taught from kindergarten that hard work beats talent, And Kyrgios proves that sometimes talent beats hard work, and it makes us furious. He mocks the meritocracy of sport. He reminds us that life isn't fair. Some people are just gifted, and they don't have to suffer for it like the rest of us. The Wimbledon 2022 turning point. For a brief, shining moment in the summer of 2022, the pieces fit together. At Wimbledon, Kyrgios locked in. He was still Kyrgios. He spit towards a spectator, he violated the dress code by wearing a red Jordan hat, he yelled about a woman in the crowd who had had about 700 drinks, but he focused. He fought through 5-setters. He kept his head, mostly. He reached the final against Novak Djokovic. For the first set, Kyrgios looked like the best player in the world. He took the set 6-4. He was untouchable. But then, the difference between talent and champion appeared. Djokovic is a machine. Kyrgios is a mood. Djokovic waited. He suffocated Kyrgios with consistency. As the pressure mounted, Kyrgios began to fracture. He started shouting at his box, his favorite target. He unraveled. He lost, but he proved a point. He could do it. He just didn't quite have the mental stamina to finish the job against the greatest defensive player in history. The wasted label is a lie. Here is the unbiased truth that tennis purists hate to hear. Nick Kyrgios has earned millions of dollars. He travels the world. He has a massive, loyal fan base. He reached a Wimbledon final and singles and won the Australian Open and doubles. He does this while working essentially part-time, without a coach, and while battling significant mental health issues, which he has bravely opened up about regarding self-harm and depression. Is that a waste? If your metric is number of Grand Slams, then yes, maybe he left some hardware on the table. But if your metric is living life on your own terms, Nick Kyrgios is winning by a landslide. We call him a waste because we want him to be the next Federer, but he doesn't want to be Federer. He wants to be Nick. He is an entertainer in the body of an athlete. He plays for the dopamine hit of a highlight reel shot, not the grind of a ranking point. He's realized that tennis is a game, and games are supposed to be played, not worked. Nick Kyrgios is the tennis equivalent of Goodwill Hunting. He looks at the complex equations of the sport, solves them in seconds with a flick of his wrist, and then asks why anyone cares so much about the math. He will likely never be world number one. He may never win a singles major, but 20 years from now, when we look back at this era of tennis, we won't be watching highlights of the guy who played it safe, ate his broccoli, and retired with a nice 401k. We'll be watching the guy who hit an underarm serve against Rafael Nadal, looked at the booing crowd, and laughed. He is the villain tennis didn't want, but he is absolutely the character the sport needed. He drives us crazy because he holds up a mirror to our own obsession with perfection. And honestly, I think he enjoys the reflection. What's your verdict? Is Nick Kyrgios the biggest waste of talent in sports history? Or is he a genius who figured out how to make millions without sacrificing his personality? Drop a comment below with your take. And if you enjoy deep dives into the psychology of sport's most controversial figures, smash that subscribe button. I promise I won't yell at you if you don't. Probably. Take a moment to check out the description for exceptional products and supplements aimed at enhancing your performance, and use promo code YT20 for 20% off your first order. Also, follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more captivating content. While you're here, feel free to delve into our channel for other intriguing videos. See you in the next one.